I will help to inform you on what divorce is, my experience with divorce, and the effects it has had on me, as well as the different types. There is approximately one divorce every 36 seconds. That is about 2,400 divorces per day and 876,000 divorces a year. As for a first marriage, the divorce rate is 41%, and for one to remarry a third time is a whopping 73%. Divorce has been around for at least 3 centuries. While it might be a shock to some that divorce is such a problem, as for most of us, our parents have split. This might not be the most comfortable topic, but sadly enough, this is something that is prevalent throughout the world. Divorce not only vastly affects the parents, but affects the kids, family, and friends around them. Okay, as for most of us, our parents split, whether it was because of one disagreement or an ongoing problem that did not have any solutions. I know from experience and just getting to know others that everyone handles it differently. One could be more verbal about it, while another could be a lot more quiet and kept to themselves about it. This is important as a whole because divorce is something that greatly affects people's lives. Today, I will help to inform you what divorce is, my experience with divorce, the effects, and the different types. Let's begin finding out a little bit more about what divorce is. Divorce is the process of abolishing a marital union or marriage, also known as a disunion of one's marriage. The first recorded divorce in America was on January 5th, 1643. It was between Dennis Clark and his wife Anne Clark, who were a part of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, which their divorce was granted because of the abandonment of Dennis's wife Anne to be with another woman. Approximately 1 in every 4 families wound up having to experience divorce. With this being said, it is averaged at about a year for divorce proceedings. While so many cases are universal, most causes of divorce are being repeated in marriages. Now that I have given you an overview of what divorce is, I want to tell you about my experience with it, the effects it has had on me. At the beginning of May 2008, my parents had filed 4 divorce papers. Their divorce papers were then finalized in February of 2009. At the beginning of their split, it was confusing. With the little knowledge of divorce that I had and what was going on, I had an overwhelming sense of emotions. I was scared, confused, and worried. I wasn't sure whose side to take. I even asked myself if I had done anything wrong. I didn't know whether to take my mom's side or my dad's side. I had high hopes of my parents getting back together, as I had seen in movies. There is about 6% of people who have been married, divorced, and then remarried their loved one. I struggled to understand why I had to go between 2 homes. My anxiety was at an all-time high. It is said that children with parents who are divorced have higher depression and anxiety rates. It is also said that children with divorced parents will have relationship problems. They might cheat because of being scared of commitment, or they don't want to end up like their parents. Now that I have told you my experience, I want to share with you some of the different types of divorce. The process is a lot more complicated than people think. There is not only different types of divorce, but even long processes to take. Okay, there's fault and no fault, which is abuse, extreme cruelty, adultery, and abandonment, which an example I had given earlier about Dennis and his wife Anne. Then there is arbitration, which is when the couple doesn't want to go to the court about their problems. They'd rather keep to themselves about it and kind of keep it private. So they hire a private judge that ends up making a ruling just as a judge would in court. A third one would be mediation. It's almost identical to arbitration. Mediation is one of the more common forms of divorce. They don't hire a private judge. They even have an even-handed third party. They listen to both of the spouses, so when they arrive in court, they will be in agreement for the judge to make the final judgment on the divorce. Mediation is free, which saves time and money, as well as helping both parties when even lets one design their own solution. This type of divorce is carried out when both spouses have higher net worth, as well as when both spouses have an astronomical amount of liabilities and assets. My last one is contested divorce. That's known as more of the aggressive type of divorce. Both spouses maintain their own attorneys, they bring their issues in front of a court, and they talk to the judge about them, which then can turn into a trial, which leads to with a lot at stake. Contested divorce is one of the worst divorces, although it is one of the more common ones. While these methods can be effective, it depends solely on personal preference and extent of the divorce. Today I have provided you with information on divorce, the effects that it has had on me, and the different types of divorce. With the information I have provided you, I hope you all have a better understanding of what divorce is. Hopefully you can use this information and pass it on. As I stated in my introduction, divorce is extensive throughout the world. Regardless of who you are, one is always prone to get a divorce. Always be thoughtful of your loved ones because you never know what they might be going through.